Have you ever shared a big goal with everyone, only to notice that you suddenly lost the drive to actually do it? It's a strange thing. Sometimes the more we talk about our dreams, the harder they are to reach. Take Simon, for example. He lived in a small village and was always full of big ideas. Every week, it was something new. One day, he wanted to open a shop. The next, he was planning to master pottery. Then he decided he'd build a house. But Simon had this habit. Before he even started, he'd go around telling the whole village his plans. He'd walk through the market and shout, "I'm going to open the biggest shop around." People would clap and tell him how great he was. Simon felt proud and important. He'd go to bed feeling successful. But the next morning, when it was time to actually start working, he felt drained. The energy was just gone. Days would pass, the shop never opened, and Simon would move on to pottery. He'd gather everyone in the square and talk loudly about his new dream. "I'll make the most beautiful pots you've ever seen." Again, the praise poured in. He felt wonderful. But a few days later, he'd lose interest and never even touch the clay. This went on for years. Simon announced every dream. People celebrated his words, but his hands stayed empty. He felt ashamed and stuck, unable to understand why he kept failing. One evening, Simon was sitting by the old well when an elder from the village approached him. This man was quiet and humble, someone everyone respected, even though he didn't say much. He sat down and asked, "My son, what's troubling you?" Simon sighed. "I have so many dreams, but I never finish anything. I don't know what's wrong with me." The elder nodded slowly. "Tell me, what do you do when you get a new idea?" "I tell everyone," Simon said quickly. "I want them to know my plans. I want them to be proud of me." The elder smiled. "Come see me tomorrow morning. I want to show you something." The next day, they met in the elder's garden. The old man held 2 seeds. He gave one to Simon and told him to plant it. Simon dug a hole, placed the seed inside, and covered it with soil. Then the elder took the second seed. But instead of planting it, he held it up high and called over some children. "Look, everyone, I have a seed. Soon it's going to be a massive, beautiful tree. Just watch how amazing it will be." The kids cheered and clapped. Then the elder just placed that seed on a rock and left it there. As the weeks passed, the elder quietly watered the seed buried in the dirt. He didn't say a word about it. Simon watched as a tiny green shoot appeared and grew stronger every day. Meanwhile, the seed on the rock stayed exactly the same. It dried out in the sun, birds pecked at it, and it never grew. Simon stared at the plant, and something clicked. The elder continued, "When you share your dreams too early, the praise makes your mind feel like you've already done the work. You get the reward without the effort, so your heart loses its fire. You're wasting the energy you need for action on mere words." Simon went home and decided to try one more time. He chose a simple goal, building a wooden chair. But this time, he told no one. He didn't gather a crowd, he just started. Every night after work, he'd go to a quiet corner and work with the wood. Some days he was tired, some days he was excited. But because no one knew, there was no pressure. The neighbor was shocked. "But you never mentioned it." Simon just nodded. "I wanted to finish it first." Word got around. People were impressed. But by then, Simon was already on to his next project, a table. Again, he worked in silence. Years passed, and Simon became known as a master craftsman. He never announced his plans anymore. He just showed his work when it was done. People respected him deeply because his actions spoke louder than his words. Now, think about your own life. How many goals have you talked away? How many dreams faded because you shared them too soon? When you broadcast your plans, you give away your power. You let other people's reactions replace your own discipline. Keep your dreams close. Protect them. Let your work speak for itself when it's ready. The world doesn't need to know what you're building. It just needs to see what you've built.
So the next time you have a big idea, stay quiet. Let that seed grow in the dark. When the tree is strong, everyone will see it without you saying a single word. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories that change how we see life. Thanks for listening.